Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Tea&Comics. It's been a very, very long time. But now we're all in self-isolation and quarantine, so I don't really have an excuse but to make a couple more videos. This video, I'm just going to show off the Letter 44 volumes, the trade paperback volumes. So there's 6 books. I have all 6 here. I'm going to show off the front and the back and the spine. Not going to talk too much about the actual content. I don't want any spoilers or anything like that. But let's just say I really enjoyed Letter 44. It was quite unique. And yeah, I enjoyed it. So here's the first volume. They all have this glossy, shiny look to them. This one's really cool. So this is volume 1 called Escape Velocity. Here's the front. As you can see, the shine. Here's the spine, nice thick spine. It's a trade paperback. It's only like 5 or 6 volumes. Like it's a standard number of issues, like the same amount you'd see in like a Walking Dead volume. But for some reason, the spines on these are thicker and they really stand out on the shelf. I think it's because, maybe I'll flip open. The binding is, here's the back. The binding on these is like your standard kind of glued binding, like a trade paperback, but it's honestly like almost like a sewed binding. So I'm going to open the first volume a little bit here just for a warning. But yeah, like you can see that, I'll find a good example, but every few pages you can actually see that it's almost like a sewn glued binding on these, and maybe that's why they're thick. But they definitely seem sturdy. They open up nicely, as you just saw. There's not like a lot of gutter loss or anything like that. They're kind of like a standard trade paperback, but they do seem to have a more sturdy binding than just like a standard volume. So there's the first one. I didn't stack these very nicely. So here's volume 2. So volume 2 is called Redshift. Again, it's the same glossy, shiny finish. It has like a very technical design on it, like the first one did as well. This one's more of like some type of schematic. So, and it's called Redshift, and it's red, which makes sense. Here is your spine and the numerals on this. So it's the second volume, but it's Roman numerals. So here's your spine and then the back. All right. Here's the third volume. This one's called Dark Matter. This one's kind of has like a radar theme on the front here. Again, same kind of shiny look to it. Here's your spine. So this is kind of a green theme on this one. And the back. The light's really catching it, making it look even more. It looks even more, because I have like the sunshine, there's the reflection of the window. So if you just have like a regular room light on the ceiling, it doesn't quite get as shiny. So it's kind of neat with the sun shining in here. They really catch your eye on the shelf. That's why I like these. I haven't really seen there's like the thicker, larger omnibus style. They're like oversized as well, hardcovers for Letter 44. I don't know if they have the same kind of shiny, glossy feel to them, but I really like these trades. So here's volume 4 called Saviors. It has like a space station looking thing on it. It's more of a yellow color. All right, there's the spine again. The theme is one of those really nice uniform spines. They all have the same kind of style and everything. It all lines up really nicely. Looks good on the shelf. There's the back. All right, volume 5. So volume 5 was interesting in this. Again, no spoilers, but when this was being released as single issues, at the end of each arc, they released an issue that was kind of like a backstory issue. And so there's 4 volumes, and there was 4 backstory issues before they kind of, so they release your whatever it is, 5 issues, and then there would be a 6th issue that's like a backstory issue. But when they collected these trades, they didn't put those backstory ones at the end of each trade. They actually just collected them all into volume 5. So when you're reading it, it seems a little bit disjointed. That's maybe one critique I have on it, is that you get to the end of volume 4, the story seems to be building, and then you read volume 5. Still really interesting, cool to see a lot of the backstory, but the pacing, it's not the same as with the single issues, because those backstories were being told throughout. Every few issues you'd get a backstory, and then you go back to the main story. Whereas when you read them in the trades, you get all that backstory at once, right before the finale. The pacing's a little weird. I mean, it didn't detract. I still really enjoyed it. I just something to note. Anyway, that's this one here. So volume 5 Blue Shift. Of course, it's blue. It's really nice. This one is a very minimalist compared to the other ones. You have just the earth. There's not like a lot of design going on, but it looks really good. This spine, this one's I think slightly thinner. I think it's one less issue, but it's still like a nice thick spine. And here's your back. And finally, volume 6 is called The End. And you have looks like an asteroid or something being destroyed here. And it has a purplish color. Once again, here is the spine and the back. Okay, I'm going to try to snag all these together here. So here is letter 44. So that's what it looks like on the shelf. You can see they all are very uniform. Looks great. Like I really like the way these look. I got a puzzle going on over here, but yeah. So I like these a lot. As far as just the build of them, Oni Press did a really great job. I don't know. Again, I don't know if those omnibus volumes are nice. I'm sure if that's if you like collecting hardcovers, it's probably the better way to go. But if you like trades, these are some of the nicest looking trades I have. The build quality is great. Like I said, the binding is like a glued sewn binding. The story is really good. The art is consistent. Volume 5 is the art has like guest artists as well. So, but other than that, the art is really consistent. And yeah, it's like a sci-fi. I don't know how to describe. It's science fiction. It's kind of like an Arrival type story. It's not really that big of a spoiler to say there's aliens. It's obviously a sci-fi book about that, but it has a lot of political elements as well. In that it's more like not like political, kind of the current political climate or anything. It's more think of like House of Cards. There's like political players, and there's that kind of story also being told with like an Arrival type story with there's kind of aliens that need to be communicated with. But it's much, much more than that. That's a very simplistic summary. But if you're into that kind of stuff and you're also into kind of things like House of Cards and which I'm not really, but I found it intriguing in this story. So yeah, that's letter 44. I recommend the series. I recommend these trade paperbacks. And yeah, I'm going to do a few more videos. I really have nothing else going on, and it feels good to record a video again. So that's it from this one, and hope everyone's staying safe. Yeah, take care.